So during this 9-year journey and you're writing these spec scripts in your free time,
Right.
where are you finding that free time? I realize you have a family, you have obligations, you also have a job.
Well, when I was unemployed, because not so much during the Knott's Landing period, it was before that. In fact, this is very funny. The Cheers script that I wrote, the first one that was too dirty, that according to the agent there, actually I got the idea for this script because I was being an absolute pain in the neck to my wife because I was unemployed and we just had a baby and I thought I was a failure and I wasn't supporting my family. And we're actually having an argument about this at 11 o'clock at night where she says, "You've got this free time, why don't you write something now?" And she said, "Why don't you rewrite your feature script?" I said, "Well, I'm not ready to do that." She said, "Well, then write a Cheers episode." I said, "Well, I would, but I haven't had any ideas." "Wait, I just got an idea." It was bizarre. In the middle of an argument, I went over, my desk was in our bedroom at that time, it was a table, a kitchen table that was in our bedroom, and I wrote notes and said, "Okay, I'll do this starting tomorrow." And I wrote the script in a week and then called up the agent and said, "Okay, I've written another script." And it really got my agent interested in representing me, even though he had reservations about that particular script. He clearly said, "This guy can write comedy." So that's what I did. When I was unemployed, I would write. It was too difficult to write with a family and a 12-hour-a-day job, but it was a job that had periods of unemployment, and so I tried not to be lazy during those times.
Well, speaking of which, how would you motivate yourself? Because it's so easy to have a grand plan like that, and it sounds great in theory, but then how did you actually execute it every day? What was your sort of disciplined itinerary?
I found, and this is still true for me, that I work best in the morning, and so I would get up and kind of, a lot of times what helps me is to exercise, and if I'm either jogging in those days or now on an elliptical machine in the gym, that time and taking a shower and stuff is really productive for me to think about what I'm going to be doing that day with my writing or to solve a writing problem I'm having, so that when I hit the desk, so to speak, I'm really hit it running and I've got some momentum, and that worked for me. I also think I just enjoyed writing. I really wanted to achieve this goal really badly and could see that others were achieving it. It wasn't like, I lived in Los Angeles, so I could see people around me who were breaking through, and I knew that it was possible, and so I just kept at it. But your question's a really good one because you have to be disciplined. One of the great stories of discipline, perhaps the most disciplined writers I ever heard of, was a man named Stephen Cannell, passed away a few years ago, became incredibly successful. I mean, if you could get a show on TV, you're successful. If you get multiple series on TV, that's beyond successful. Stephen Cannell created or co-created 40 television series. 40. That's unbelievable. He wrote or co-wrote 450 episodes of television. I mean, just think about that. I know that just sounds like a large number, but if you write 15 scripts a year that get produced for 30 years, amazing. Stephen Cannell came and spoke to my students several years ago and said, "I am severely dyslexic. I flunked out of the 3rd grade. I flunked out of the 8th grade. If I can make it, you can make it." But his key was, he said, "I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm not the most talented guy in the room. I'm the hardest working guy in the room." And when Cannell got out of college, he had a day job at his family's furniture business and then wrote from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, put in a full day writing Saturday and a half day Sunday. He did this for 6 years until he got a job. And I'll never forget him saying, "But the thing is, at the end of every year, when I looked back, I was that much better." And it was just awe-inspiring to hear him talk about that. And he had to keep practicing. There's a theory in general, not just about writing, but about any kind of pursuit, that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. Tennis, piano, computer programming, writing. That's a long time. That's, if you practice 20 hours a week for 50 weeks a year, that's 1,000 hours. So my 9 years probably was not too far off what that metric was for getting good at it.